Hey everybody, we recently hit 500 subscribers, so that means that we can offer channel memberships now. And what that means is you guys can join the channel at different tiers. I have one tier with loyalty badges, second tier would be members only videos, among other things. And I'm going to be doing some filming locations for Halloween 4, Halloween 5, and Halloween 6 coming soon. Those will be on there. And then at the top tier, we're going to be doing gameplay, more interactive stuff with you viewers out there. I'm going to be playing video games like Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw Massacre for you guys to join that level. So lots of good stuff. So hit the join button and you can check out all of those different membership levels. See you guys soon. So we just came from the midway there, which leads us all the way to the end of that collection, and we're coming over to this side of the collection. What's up everybody? Today we have a very special episode. I'm going to invite you into my horror crib and we're going to take a look around. 'Cause I don't have a reason, 'cause I don't have a friend. I've had some good times here, but most leave me blue. Reach for the smoke screen dream, it's what keeps me from you. I'm floating in my little dream. This is the main collection room here, and then a lot of the stuff is over there. This is the first time I've given a tour of my place, and then there's various Halloween posters upstairs. That one's my most recent that I got signed by almost everybody at Halloween 45 Years of Terror. There's a very exclusive Halloween Horror Nights from Universal. There's the event poster from H45 signed by Malik Akkad. And then right up there all by itself, my favorite of the newest trilogy of Halloweens, Halloween Kills, signed by just about everybody. Coming back down, we're going to go in detail over this Halloween collection over there in the corner in a minute, and the rest of the collection is on the side over here. Take a quick walk over on this side. Here's the Leatherface area, Leatherface poster. This one I just had signed by everybody at CreepyCon. I actually have a video on YouTube documenting the entire event, along with everybody who was from the 50th reunion. Just out this way, backyard area. Don't keep a lot out there, it's always clean. Continuing down this side of the room. Recently did an episode on that. That is my one of one in existence life-size Michael Myers cardboard cutouts that I got at Blockbuster Video. You guys could check out the video for more information on that, but that is probably a one of one in the world. My most rare piece, and something that literally nobody else probably has. Continuing on, here we go. Just various Halloween HCG art prints. That would be this wall over here on this side of the living room. And I picked up some of these at well, I picked up that one at H40, H45, eBay, and H45. Here's my 1993 Jason Goes to Hell promotional cardboard cutout. Not sure how limited these were. These were like a mail away that I got from Fangoria. And this is the real deal from 1993. This isn't a more recent one or nothing like that. This is the real deal. And now in this corner, everybody who's been with me from the beginning of my channel knows that I'm a huge Halloween Village collector. Flip it on so you guys can see it in action. There we go. So this is not the official setup for 2024 yet. This is just something that I rushed to put together to have out.
I have all the 2024 villages on order. We'll be doing unboxing and reviews on those as well. But that's the Halloween village area there. And then I have a little water area down below for like the water-based villages with the bridge that leads back into land. If you go so far back, it kind of looks like a Michael's in my house right there. The way I have it set up. And again, that's just a temporary thing. That's not my permanent village setup. But that is a look at this side of the room. So we're going to move back onto this side of the collection area and pull back a little bit so you guys see what we're dealing with so far. This is this side of the house here. The collection begins there and continues on that side. Starting with this Halloween Kills bus shelter. I have all Halloween Kills bus shelters, all Halloween Ends bus shelters, and the 2018 one, but only one can fit in the frame at a time. And I don't want to put bus shelter frames all through here. A little bit too high up for me to get these hung, and they're heavy, so figured one at a time is going to have to do. Same with this print. This is the Juan Ramos Halloween 2 print that was exclusive to Bottleneck Gallery. I have the Halloween 1 print as well. But again, a shortage of wall space and poster frames. That one is a beautiful print from Spook House Studios. If you look really close, there's lots of details on there. See Tommy along with Lonnie Lamb. There's Lori getting out of Annie's car. There is the Strode house, and there is the Myers house, which isn't exactly entirely accurate. But it is a gorgeous print, so we can't complain about it. On the subject of gorgeous, take a look at that face. This is a Dick Warlock scale Halloween 2 Michael Myers life-size from Trick or Treat Studios. And he is not an animatronic. He is just a life-size figure. He is not animatronic, he doesn't do nothing. He just stands there. Moving along to this top shelf. I still have this available on eBay, going for $200. If you're interested, check out the eBay store that I have. My link is in the description. These are the 18-inch figures, beginning with the McFarlane from 1999 rather. And then the Rob Zombie Halloween. Can't see him too well because of the glare, but he's in there. That's the Rob Zombie. He was only 40 bucks at Hot Topic when I bought him. And then there's the most recent 18-inch figure, 2018. And there is a sad-looking Halloween Resurrection figure, but it's the only Resurrection figure we got besides the 12-inch. So, topping off the top of the cabinet is the Halloween 3 Jack-o'-lantern, just because I don't have space in this curio cabinet to keep them. So we're getting into the Halloween cabinet here. There's a couple bobbleheads in here. One of my prized possessions, this VHS set, which has become pretty rare considering that it was not rare back when it was released. It was overproduced back then. But now VHS tapes have become rare. That's one of my favorite things that I own, just because of the artwork and the fact that there's a Blockbuster video logo on there. Makes it feel pretty retro. Coming down to this cabinet, back. That's an original from 2008 or 2009, and then that's an original from 2010. These are still mint in the package. We got bobbleheads in the front, in the back, and then we have a pin set, which was exclusive to, I think it was exclusive to the Shout Factory Blu-ray set. I have many more masks than I will have displayed out right now. But this is just as many heads as I own. I do have another shelf, so I'm debating on buying the heads. The problem is the heads are like $6 each. So if you add that up, that's going to be $100 in heads right there, just to display some more of these. So I'm on the fence right now about buying more styrofoam heads, but these are my favorite masks that I have on display currently. And if you're going to step into this other room over here, this is my animatronic here from Spirit Halloween 2010, but if you watch the video you'll know that I wasn't a fan of his mask, so I covered it up with a Tots Halloween 6 mask. Same thing with this Jason. Wasn't digging the mask on him, so he got the axe literally and his face was replaced with a NECA mask. And then up there, a recent print that I got, that is a Jason Edmiston print that I just picked up about 2 weeks ago. And then lastly, sorry about the glare and the reflection, this is one of my favorite prints that I own. Out of every print that I own, this is probably my favorite. This is from Vice Press and Bottleneck Gallery. Not sure what the run was on this, I don't remember. But I have both the smaller variant as well as over here in this room, the bigger one back there. We'll touch on that in a few minutes. All right, so we just came from the midway there, which leads us all the way to the end of that collection, and now we're coming over to this side of the collection. More goodies up here. If anybody needs one of these, let me know. I'm selling this for $100. There's just certain things that I'm trying to get rid of in the collection. That's one of them. He's gonna be heading on eBay shortly. There's another back there, Jason Goes to Hell. So we're moving into more of the rare stuff that's in this cabinet, which is why it's separated from the rest. So this, I attended a Dark Delicacy signing in 2012 when this was released, this particular release, along with that one. And these were signed by people who are no longer with us, including John Carl Beekler and George P. Wilbur. There we have a Halloween lunchbox with a thermos. I got one for me and one for Autumn. Moving into some super rare stuff here. These were exclusive to Universal Studios Orlando. And I gotta tell you guys, this candle smells excellent. And then one of my top Halloween collectibles, one of my top 5 probably things that I own actually, is right here. Signed by a whole bunch of people from the Halloween series. I got that in 2014 at Dark Delicacies. We're moving on to more of the commemorative stuff now. This is the 20 Years of Terror Halloween snow globe. And if you shake it, it gives off like red, like the illusion of blood I guess they were going for. Here's a 2001 Halloween film cell, which came with the DVD of the TV version. We come down here. Another one of my top items, Halloween 40 Years of Terror commemorative candle, and that's the best smelling candle that I think I own. Back there is a signed Halloween 2 game. Another top 5 item for me right here, the H45 official Halloween bobblehead. And not only did we get one, but, well, I should say not only did I buy one, but we were also given one by none other than Malika Cod. We gifted that to Autumn during the convention. And there's the convention cup from Fright Rags. Peek back there, you see a 2018 Michael Myers bobblehead. We're moving into the Jason section now, down here. This is the Friday, I try to keep my stuff in line by movie. So this is Friday 1 and Friday 2. We met Ari Lehman at Westgate Mall, not too far from our house. He was doing a signing there, so I got a bunch of stuff signed, including these 2 things. And then they have, that's one of my original things that I got a long time ago, one of my oldest collectibles. That's the Cinema of Fear diorama with Jason, along with Adrian King in the boat. And the original Friday the 13th, I believe it was 25th anniversary of Part 2 set, featured this, that, and that. I do not have the box. Part 2 Blu-ray 4K, signed by just about everybody in the movie. Moving down to Part 3, the highly sought after box set, signed by, and look at this, what a gorgeous signature from Harry Manfredini. And he does that on everybody's signature. He could sign 100 autographs and he'll sign the same way. Here's our Part 3 diorama. There's a statue back there, not quite sure of the manufacturer. Those things used to go for a gang on eBay. I'm not sure if they do. Actually, both of those used to go for quite a lot. I haven't checked up on them lately. While we're moving along, my favorite animatronic of Leatherface that I own. I own all 3 of these. This is by far the most detailed one. I do have a YouTube video that's out right now reviewing this guy. We're gonna pan back a little bit so we can take a look at the collection on this side. Seeing the house from different angles here. All right, we are moving right along here. Here is the Jason section continued. And that was my first figure I believe I ever bought, or second, as related to horror collecting in 1999. This is what we were subjected to back then. Kind of crap quality now, but in 1999, man, we were happy to have that because we didn't have much else. I mean, don't have to look far to see a big difference in quality nowadays. But in 1999, we were stoked to be owning any kind of Jason figure. And that's exactly what we're moving into next, is the Jason shelf continued. I keep all these locked not only due to security reasons, but because I have kids running around the house, and especially my little guy will get into all this stuff. These are just various Jasons, kind of in order of film. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still waiting for that Manhattan figure. Maybe now that the rights are seemingly settled for the moment, perhaps we'll get that Manhattan figure that's missing in everybody's collection. 7's continued down here. And then, of course, 8's missing, but we go into 9. We have, I believe this was a Spirit, or not Spirit, this was a Spencer's exclusive right here. And then way in the back in the package is Jason X. And up next is the Freddy vs. Jason items, followed by the remake. And then down here, coming into some of my favorite stuff on this shelf. So this was a Comic-Con exclusive. This is a 2013 figure, and it's a variant due to the fact that he has more of a clear mask on there and it glows in the dark, versus this one here that came with the Mrs. Voorhees head. So that one there, super rare because it was a Comic-Con exclusive. And then back there was a Toys R Us exclusive, and these things are highly sought after. And then behind that is my original Friday the 13th NES game, in which this Jason appeared in the video game. You and your friends are dead. All the old timers like me who played Nintendo know what that reference is. Here's a Sideshow Jason Goes to Hill. I'm not sure what that is. A Jason statue from, I believe, Japan. Jason mask from NECA. Moving along here, met William Butler. Didn't really have a spot for this. It's probably gonna tie into this Miscellaneous cabinet that I got here. But I do love the Night of the Living Dead original and remake. And he had that gas pump, and I think he only charged me $10 and signed it. So that was a steal. And another steal is this Spirit exclusive Leatherface statue from 2023. Because I got it on clearance. These were 89 bucks. And I wasn't gonna pay full price. I was hoping they would have it on clearance the day after Halloween, which they did. So yeah, that Leatherface was just 45 bucks on clearance. That's why I always go shopping the day after Halloween at Spirit. Get some crazy good deals. So we have old and new stuff in here. My opinion, the absolute worst looking Leatherface thing that I own is that. Don't know how that got green lit, but it's terrible. I get it. It kind of looks like the face he's making when he's killing Franklin, but still not a great Leatherface. There's some McFarlane's there. In the back we got the Hitchhiker. And of course I like to display the nicer stuff on the front. And to me these front runners here are this bobblehead from Spirit, and that would be the Mexico 1 Leatherface, and then we have a NECA right there. So I like to put the nicer looking stuff in the front. And then we have the truck signed by the truck driver as well as the hitchhiker that we met at the most recent CreepyCon. I put the hitchhiker next to it as if he's getting run over like in the movie. And then here's just the Leatherface, the end of Leatherface 1 into Leatherface 2 shelf. And then that ugly thing back there, I don't know how that ever got green lit either. I know what it's supposed to be, but I don't know why they decided to dedicate a figure to it. And there is a Leatherface 2 in the package back there, as well as the van that the kids were driving in Chainsaw 74. Moving down here, some newer stuff. This Leatherface statue, which I think they did an excellent job on. These are three of the nicest things that I own. If you look at this, the details on this stuff here, on his skin tone, on the saw, the apron, everything about this figure is immensely detailed. His shirt, and then his face as well, just perfect. Same with the Trick or Treat Studios figures, which I do have videos of on the channel as well. 2 and 3. This probably the 3 best things that are grouped together on any shelf I have as far as accuracy. Down here is a little bare bones. I'm leaving some room for some stuff that might be popping up. This is a Leatherface snow globe from Spirit. The NECA figure, Sheriff Hoyt. And I'm saving room for Uncle Monty, because even though I don't own one currently, I do have a plan to own one in the future. And we are going to show you the progress here. We're on our last cabinet for this particular horror collection, then we're going to move into the other collection room. So unfortunately the door does not open on this cabinet. I have locks on the other ones. This one I have flipped, turned around, facing the wall because, again, the door fell off and I didn't have the hardware after I moved to be able to fix it yet. It's on a to-do list. So we'll start at the top here. Just a basic Tarman from Target. This thing was on sale at Spirit for like 20 bucks. So I picked that up. It's not even really a full thing. It's supposed to be a planter, but I figured it'd be a cool display. And it is, you can't really tell if you back up. We're gonna try and do this with some anti-glare. This is my Creature from the Black Lagoon cabinet. Various creatures in here. And then one of my favorite things that I have in here is right there, signed by the actor that portrayed the creature from the Black Lagoon, who has since passed away. Moving down here, just a bunch of Misk stuff in this cabinet. We got some Blair Witch McFarlane going on, a Blair Witch 2 van from the film, some My Bloody Valentine stuff. This is where the stuff starts to mix together because they don't really have enough figures out of any of this stuff for its own cabinet, so everything just gets tossed in. Captain Spaulding, Ghostface, really cool. Godzilla back there breathing fire out. And then again, continuing with some stuff down here that doesn't get its own case. Some Frankensteins. Elm Street car, which is really nice. Did a nice job on that. I'm not much of a Freddy collector, luckily, because I wouldn't have the space if I was anyway. Do have a little bit of Freddy stuff in the collection back there. That's a really nice job on the Mego. And a really nice job on that Frankenstein glow-in-the-dark figure that they put out last year. A couple more Megos here. I'm a big fan of the Megos because they're cheap and look at the detail on them. Extremely well detailed most of the time. There's a Jeepers Creeper one. And on the bottom here, a little bit of Sam. I'm not a Trick or Treat fan, admittedly, but I do love the look of Sam. The look of Sam I'm a fan of, not so much the film. And so I have a very scarce Sam collection. And then I saw a Cinemark head. That's a wrap on this particular collection room. I'll zoom back in here. One last look at the collection room. Heading over this way. I've been collecting since I was 6, all of this stuff. So this, we're gonna head right through here, then the cut through, and I'm gonna take you guys into the wrestling room. I should say also one thing I didn't show back here. One of my favorite pieces that I own is this Nick Castle mini poster signed by the photographer, signed by Nick Castle, and signed by John Carpenter. It's one of my favorite things in the collection back there. We'll cut through into the game room now. This is a game slash wrestling slash media room, kind of a multi-purpose room. Sometimes I film over there. Sometimes I just hang out in here and listen to music. So this is that room. This is collection room number 2. And while we are heading that way, there's little surprises around every corner. On this wall, I have a Hills Have Eyes poster, the original artwork signed by everybody, just about everybody who's still capable of signing from that film. One of my favorite horror films. It's not Halloween and not Chainsaw and not Friday the 13th. Hills Have Eyes comes in right after that. Then we pop into this restroom here. This bathroom is highlighted by a Michael Myers spirit. And then the Halloween 4 HCG art. That was a must-have from H45. Spin back around into the room we just left. Back into the game room here. And I have a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Probably a very eclectic selection of music. I don't talk much personal here on the channel, but today I'm gonna show you my CD collection, some of my favorites, mostly stuff that nobody's probably even familiar with. I like a little bit of everything, as you see on my collection here. Most of my CD collection comes from these guys, the Outfield, and then a huge George Strait section as well. Spin around over here. The Push Star is another one of my favorites, and of course, I'd be remiss to not mention one of my favorite, least known bands, Stir. Everybody knows Michael Jackson and Billy Idol. A lot of you guys probably don't know the Hooters, they're awesome. So I have a very, like I said, eclectic selection of different stuff. I listen to everything. I listen to that country, I listen to rock, pop, soundtracks, you name it, I listen to it. There's some very old Halloween soundtracks, most of these which are signed by Alan Howarth. Here's a deep cut here on this one. That one's hard to come by nowadays. And here's a funny story. A movie that very few people have probably even ever heard of. Haggard with Bam Margera and Ryan Dunn. I bought this, as you see, at Rasputin as a used CD, and guess what? What a huge surprise that this was signed by Ryan Dunn. How cool is that? Just a little story I had to throw in here. And then, let's see. So yeah, all kinds of stuff in my collection. Van Halen, lots of horror soundtracks, wrestling albums, all kinds of goodies. Make our way past the CD section over here. I have a very small section of Batman. I'm a Batman 89 and 60s Batman fan. That particular print I got from, I believe, Bottleneck Gallery, and it's limited, but I don't want to go through all this stuff to try to show it. So again, just a very quick look at some of the Batman stuff. There's not a whole lot to look at. My favorite Batman piece I will show, which is this guy. Actually, I have two. Just kidding. So there's this guy, and then there's that 89 Batman back there. Oh, you better make it 3. There's a third one. 18-inch Batman. Here's the print that I had mentioned earlier in the video. That's the big one compared to the small one. Small one's over there on that wall, which is right there. And that's the bigger one. Some masks, some signed music from some of my favorite artists. Grew up on Culture Club, grew up on Nena. Katie Lang's one of my favorites. Hooters. Randy Travis, my favorite country singer. A limited album by him. Got to meet Tony Lewis of the Outfield before he passed away. So we'll move along to the vinyls that I collect. I don't collect a whole lot of vinyls. I do have some in that cabinet locked up. For the most part, the ones that I play are out here, and they are mostly soundtracks. I have all the Friday the 13th soundtracks. This Halloween. So a few things worth mentioning in this vinyl collection are this Halloween 2 original Alan Howarth and John Carpenter album from 1981. This is still in the shrink wrap. It's cut open here to get the album out. This is one of my prized possessions that I've had since I was little. And then on top of that, this box set from Death Waltz Records, which is out of print. This is a beautiful box set. Highly recommend this. Michael Myers on the front, Danielle Harris on the back. Then all the typical stuff. So yeah, not a whole lot of vinyl going on here. Just my favorite things is what I have on the vinyl. This is extremely hard to come by. I found this at a used record store about 10 years ago. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It plays well and features all the songs, most of the good songs, including Strange Things Happen from Chainsaw 2. This is one of my most albums that I'm proud to own. Moving on from that, we're gonna head over to the wrestling side of stuff. A little bit of wrestling when I ran out of room, because I'm absolutely out of room over there. My Popcorn Man that I got at Halloween City that Autumn definitely hates. Not much going on in the game room yet. I do want to get a pool table eventually set up in here. Probably swap that out and get a pool table instead. I don't believe in having Christmas trees year round, but my kids love it, so this one's for the kids.
For the kids.
WrestleMania 9 poster, which I recently got. Those are all my original wrestling bar ice cream cards from the 1980s and 90s. I got them all framed up. My picture with Hulk Hogan from a lifetime ago. WrestleMania 5, my personal favorite WrestleMania. It's not the best WrestleMania, but it's my favorite. My autograph that I got from that time I met Hulk Hogan, and then just a random Royal Rumble framed poster. I've always loved that artwork, and I got it signed by as many people as I could possibly get. Coming over here. That Batman pinata is unrelated to the collection. It's for my son's birthday, coming up in July. And we continue down here. You know, I'm gonna shut this tree off. It's interfering with the video. All right, so no more tree reflection. I have the demolition shelf. Moving along down to the Macho Man shelf. And then finally the Doink shelf. And then we move up here. This is the Ultimate Warrior cabinet. He has 2 shelves currently. Down into the Andre the Giant shelf. And then the Rhythm and Blues shelf. Over here, this entire cabinet is all Hulk Hogan. He's soon to need a second cabinet. We have so many Hulkster brothers. One of my favorite things there is the No Holds Barred set with Hulk Hogan and Zeus. The other one I really like is right in there with the Mega Powers. And then we come up here. One of my prized possessions is right there. A near mint LJN Hulk Hogan. I should say his neighbor is also one of my prized collectibles. This Ultimate Warrior LJN, which I featured a video on specifically, and he is also near mint. And since I got that, I also picked that up on eBay about a month ago. A talking Ultimate Warrior, and to go with that, a talking Hulk Hogan. And we keep moving along up the Hulk Hogan shelf. My latest acquisition, I was finally able to add Drug Dealer Hogan variant in blue back there. And unfortunately, the light is throwing this off, so. But there he is, and then there's the red version. And then we have both the new Drug Dealer Hogan variant and regular one. Just some random stuff up on top with like announcers and Monday Night Raw package. An old Sid that I picked up at the toy show. Survivor Series, gobbledygooker busting out of the egg on the stage. Some overflow Hulk Hogan, and I featured that guy on a video recently. We have the Attitude Era ring. And I had to create a Kane shelf because quite a bit of Kane figures now in the collection, as well as The Undertaker gaining his own shelf down below. And then lastly, this is the New Generation and Attitude Era. And then we move up to Hasbro's, as well as Bendham's. Coming up to here, my favorite WrestleMania, as I had mentioned, WrestleMania 5. So I have lined up in here some of the events that took place at WrestleMania, as well as some of the matches. As many as I could put together are in there. And then up here is the LJN ring with the, that's not the cage, by the way. That cage is that blue cage that they sell at Target, but it looks cool inside that ring. And it fits on it pretty nice, so I figured it'd be pretty cool looking to do it this way. Anyhow, this is the wrestling room and the game room and the media room. And we will back out so you can get a better look at this room in its entirety. This is how it looks when I walk into it. Let me pull back here. Coming back into the other collection room that we just left. We're gonna head up, and I'm gonna show you guys my room and where I film and stuff like that. Judging by these posters, I'd say somebody grew up in the 1980s. So this should look familiar because it's where I actually do my recording of my episodes, is this corner here. I'm not going to show my entire area because this is my bedroom. So behind me is my bed. Heading over this way. One thing I encourage everybody to get is one of these movie theater poster light boxes. These can change on any given day, depending on my mood. I might pull something out and switch it out. I just had the Halloween Ends IMAX poster in there, for example. Decided to switch it out. Check out this very underrated film. In my opinion, one of my favorite recent horror films. Well, it's not so recent anymore, but you know what I mean. Over the last 15 years, one of the better horror films. Chernobyl Diaries. Pop this in the poster frame. Over here is my VHS collection, some DVDs. Over here is my small Nikes and Air Jordans. I've been collecting these for about 20 years. Here's some classics here. There's some newer stuff. These are original. My favorite pair is actually right there. The Vince Carter 3s and the Vince Carter 4s. I don't collect these, I should say. I collect them to wear, even though they don't look worn. I take care of my stuff pretty good, so these aren't just sitting here on display, is what I'm trying to say. We're gonna head over here and end the tour. Again, this is my videoing area. Film mini an episode here in this corner. Oh, one of my favorite things that I never really show off is right over here. This is the Crystal Lake Memories, signed by many cast members of Friday the 13th. Including right there, the late Ted White. And an autograph that's hard to come by on here. Stu Charno of Friday 2. We're about ready to wrap this episode up. There's a lot of little things that I like to have here in my background. Some autographed stuff, some random figures, some decorations from the at-home store, a bunch of retro toys, and then our last stop on the way, my belt collection, which is rounding out my room. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without another restroom, bathroom upstairs with the rare Leatherface poster. This one was limited to 100 and something, I believe. And this marks the end of the line. Thank you guys for joining me in my horror crib, among other things. Beautiful neighborhood of Saratoga, California. I will see you guys next time on the channel.
Ah, and there's the exit sign. Tour's over.
I'm gonna let everybody know that I have an eBay store and I have a good amount of collectibles up on that store right now. The link is in the video description as well as on the screen, so feel free to check it out.